Right there guys, YGOViking here, and I'm coming at you today with a SyncROID deck profile. It's SpeedROIDs and Synchrons put together. The two decks have a fantastic synergy, and I've always liked both decks, so I've put the two together, and I'm going to showcase it for you today. So without further ado, I'll get started. Alright then guys, so here we go. First three cards is 3 Junk Synchron, and that's pretty much staple for any Synchron type of build. Any variant, you basically just play 3. And we're playing 2 Quick Draw Synchron. This card normally is played at 3, but I'm keeping it at 2. I find it quite cloggy. 2 is pretty much perfect, and as you'll see later on, we're just playing 2 Level Eater, and that's the main card that combos with this. So 2's just about right. 2 Junk Jet Synchron, sorry. This card's fantastic. A lot of the cards in this deck don't mind being sent to the graveyard, so to be able to ditch one to special it out is really nice. Once again, 3 is just too cloggy, and this deck is very, very tight on room, so just keep it at 2. And then the last Synchron monster, we're playing 1 Synchron Explorer. This card is mainly used for the 1-card Trish combo, which I'll probably show off in another video. But that's pretty much all it's used for. Apart from that, we then go on to 3 Doppel Warrior. Excuse the glare. 3 Doppel Warrior. This card is key for everything because you constantly special summon him from the graveyard, so you always want to run into this guy. If you don't see this guy in, like, you know, your opening hand or your first 3-4 cards, then you're going to be pretty sad about it. So 3 is good. Just the 2 Level Eater. This card is fantastic. There's a lot of high level synchros, and the fact that this card isn't once per turn is outrageous. There's some crazy things you can do with it. But once again, more than 2 is cloggy, and we're tight on room, so 2's good. Then we're on to the SpeedROID portion. We're playing 3 Terratop. This card is fantastic. When this is normal or specialed, you get to add 1 SpeedROID monster from your deck to your hand, so it searches out all your other cards. It doesn't search out the spell card, which is annoying, but it's okay. 3 is good. It's the only one we run 3 of anyway, so next is 2 Tri-Eyed Dice. This one, when it's normal or special, you can target 1 SpeedROID monster you control, and that does include the Synchros, and declare a level from 1 to 6, and it becomes the declared level. Obviously it's a tuner as well, level 1, so it's very good. It basically, you open up with Terratop, special Terratop, add this normal, make it a 6, and you get at, you know, basically any free synchro you want. Normally Clear Wing is a good choice for your first turn. Next we have the Tri-Eyed Die. This one is level 3. This one, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and negate an attack, so that's pretty useful. Obviously it's a tuner and you can ditch it and get that banish effect, so that's nice. Next up is basically just support cards, because this deck doesn't run any back row at all, so we play 2 Gores. This card is just really useful. If you open with it, you can do some nasty plays, level 1, so you can go straight into level 8. Just a really, really all-around good card. Then we're playing 2 Max C, just to add consistency. This deck is relatively consistent anyway, but it just helps. It's just, like I say, good card. You can run things like Upstart and stuff like that, but I just find this card to be a lot better. And then last of all, for the monsters, we are playing 3 Effect Veiler. This card is great. Obviously, just discard it to the graveyard, negating opponent's monsters, effects to the end of the turn. Really, really handy, and also it is a level 1 tuner, so it can also be used in synchro summons thereafter, using things like, if you haven't really got a Jet Synchron in the graveyard, and you open up with a Doppel and a Junk Synchron, you can go into the TG Hyper Library and play from there. So next we're going to go into the spells. Spells is relatively straightforward, nothing techie in here. We just got the 3 tuning, which lets you search out all of your Synchron cards minus Synchron Explorer, which you're not going to want to search anyway, and it gets the mill at the end, which is quite nice if you hit something like a Level Eater or even a Tri-Eyed Dice or a Jet Synchron or anything. That mill, which is technically supposed to be a downside, is actually a plus. Then we're playing the 3 SpeedROID Terratop. This card is fantastic. It lets you, when you activate it, target 1 SpeedROID monster in your graveyard and special summon it, and that does include the Synchro monsters. And then In another turn, after you activate this effect, you can banish it from your graveyard and add one of your speedrun monsters from your graveyard back to your hand. So good recycling, very good card. Next we play 3 Twin Twister. This deck hates back row, and I think, like I said, this deck doesn't mind ditching stuff to the graveyard, so it's no cost really to the deck at all. 3 is very much advised. Then we play 1 for 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Rota, and 1 YGOViking. Like I say, nothing techie, just your average sort of support cards for spells. So now we'll move on to the extra deck. I'm rushing through this because I'm trying to keep the video short. I know you guys don't want to be sitting around 15 minutes watching the deck profile, so we'll go from the top. We'll go for Quasar Dragon. Obviously it's Syncrons and SyncROIDS, so it makes Quasar very, very easily and very quickly. It isn't necessarily the main win condition, but it does win a lot of the games. So yeah, Quasar. I don't run the Shooting Star Dragon because the extra deck is even tighter than the main deck, and I just don't feel like if you've got this on the field, you've normally got the Shooting Star Warrior with it as well. What's it called? Sorry, the Stardust Warrior with it as well, and that in itself is a win condition. It's very easy to make these two in the same turn, and if you've got that, you pretty much shouldn't be losing anyway. So that's 2 of the cards. Then Trish, like I said, there's the combo for the 1 card Trish, which I will show off another time. I'll upload some duels with this deck at a later date as well, just to show you guys how consistent and fluid it is. Trish, staple, level 9, banishing, great. I'd like to maybe run D-Synchro if there was room to go for the Trish, D-Synchro, re-Trish sort of play, but there's just not room at the moment. Then 1 Junk Destroyer. This card, when it's synchro summoned, you get to destroy cards on the field equal to the number of non-tuner materials used for it. So it's very helpful. It's also 2/6, and it can be used to help get out the Stardust Warrior because it's a level 8. Then we've got the Road Warrior. This card is very, very good. I wish it was a higher rarity because it looks beautiful in Super, but oh well. This card, it requires 2 or more non-tuners to make it, which can be a struggle, but at the same time you bust it out quite often, and its effect is once per turn you can special summon level 1 or level 2 warrior or machine type monster from your deck, so fantastic card. Then we've got 1 Stardust Dragon. I was playing Stardust Spark for a while, but I just found Stardust Dragon to be better. It needs no explaining, it's staple. Then 1 Clearwing Synchro. This card is fantastic, very good against Monarchs. The attack is a little bit iffy, but it's okay, we can forgive it. And then we've got the 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. Now, I was very iffy about this card when it first came out. I thought level 6 just to get a +1. It can attack all special summon monsters your opponent controls, but it's only got 2k attack. It's good just for that extra draw. I mean, there are times when it's useful, but half of the time you don't use it, but it's nice for it to be there just in case, and I'd rather put this in than say another level 5 or something. Then we've got the 1 High Speed Droid Shambara. This card is amazing, very easily made because it's a generic level 5, no specific requirements. It can attack twice per battle phase, and every time it declares an attack it gains 200 attack. And then we've got the Jet Warrior. When this card is synchro summoned, you get to bounce a card on the field back to the hand. This also does sort of combo with the Stardust Warrior, because when Stardust Warrior leaves the field, you get to special summon 1 level 5 or lower warrior monster from the extra deck, and it's considered a synchro summon. So if this dies, whatever it is that's killed it, you can normally bring this out, bounce it back. And then we've got the XL Synchron. This is another card used for the 1 card Trish. It's okay, it has the same effect as the Formula Synchron, where you can synchro during your opponent's turn. It also has the effect of once per turn you can send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard, 1 Synchron card, and increase or decrease its level by the sent monster. So it does help with, say you've level 8'd on a level 5, you can use this to send, say, Jet Warrior, increase to level 6, and then you can go for the Quasar play. Next we have Catasta, staple, no need to explain. Then we've got the TG Hyper Librarian and the 2 Formula Synchron. Now once again, this needs no explaining. The main combo in the deck is Junk Synchron into a Jet Warrior or a level 1. Forget the Doppel, and then you get to draw like 4 cards standard. So that really needs no more explaining. And that's it for the deck profile, guys. Like I say, it has great synergy. It's relatively cost effective. I mean, I built this deck a couple of months ago before Speedrod Terratop was a tenner, which they're just going to put out there is absolutely outrageous. I think I got my Terratops when they were about 30p. But there we go, minus them, you can pretty much build this deck for around 70 quid, maybe even less. You just need 3 of the Synchron Extreme Structure decks and then a few of the other cards. Maxis are a little bit pricey, but you can still get them relatively cheap. And apart from that, it's semi-compatible. I mean, I've played against Pepe when Pepe was at full strength and Draco Powell's in. It does beat him, maybe not always 2 times out of 3, but it does beat them. And if you've got the correct side deck, which obviously I haven't showcased, but everyone knows what to side deck, floodgates and things like that, so minus that, it can be compatible, and it's very one of those first turn decks. You know, if you don't open well, then you're probably not going to carry on for much longer than 2 or 3 rounds, but it's very depending on how you draw. But like I say, it's a very consistent deck, so normally it's not a problem. Also, while I'm here, I want to give a big shout out to IAsXD, a good friend of mine. He uploads videos as well, far more regularly than what I do. He does deck profiles and box openings and all sorts of other stuff, so I'll link his channel down below and you guys go check him out. And as always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know down below whether you think you could build it better, whether you liked what I did, what you'd change, and just remember that chat shit, get banged.